Alright, I want the three of you guys to back up all the way to the wall. All of you. Alright, now I want you to take 3 steps forward. Alright, now I want the guy in the purple shirt to take 2 steps to the left. I want the guy in the light blue shirt to take 2 steps to the right. Alright, now I want you guys to drop all your clothes on the ground. Everything you have on you, everything. And then I want you to turn around, face the wall, walk up to the wall, all the way up to the wall, and sit down, and do not move. Alright, then I'm going to have, what you would do is have an officer over here with a taser out to cover you guys so these guys turn around. Sean, it's the apostrophe key next to enter on your keyboard. There you go. So you're having them sit down so that if they try to stand up, it takes them time to stand all the way up. For example, Sean, try to stand up. All right. See that? You don't want them standing up. So you want to have somebody out with a taser that can see these guys. You tell them, when you're doing this stuff, we're going to search your property, and if you stand up when you're not told to, you have a chance of being tased, so they understand fully. So if they stand up, we're not yelling taser, taser, taser. We're simply tasing them because they were already warned not to stand up.
Okay.
And when they stand up without being given the order to do that, we take that as an act of aggression, mainly because we have an officer right behind them. So we're not having to give them an order to get back on the ground. So if I go over here and I'm searching out Lozim's property and my partner is over here with a taser out, when he stands up and he turns around to me, that's an act of aggression in my mind, and it should be in the person with the taser, and that guy simply gets tased so that he cannot aggress the officer searching the property. So what you're going to take out of the property when they first get there is well, you're taking everything, because we're going to give them clothes, and the only thing they can have in the prison is food and clothing, and the clothing they can have is the clothing that we give them, which we cannot do right now at the moment because of the server that we're on. Right, so for the purposes of training, when you guys stand up, don't pick up anything other than just the clothing that you guys were wearing. Understood?
Yes,
Don't
sir.
pick up the belt. Don't pick up anything but the clothes. So it's pants, a shirt, and that's it. All right, go ahead. All three of you, go ahead and stand up. Pick up your stuff. And back up to the wall. All right, so Tyler, now that you have your uniform, come over here and stand in line over here. I'll go over this stuff. The next thing we're going to go over is after we give them food. So there's 3 things that we do, okay? We give them food, we get their clothing that they're wearing to the prison, and we give them clothing, and we search the clothing they've taken off, okay? So
Okay.
give them food, get their clothing, and search the clothing that they've taken off. This is to make sure they don't have anything that you shouldn't have, because anything other than food and just the clothing on their back, their pants, shirt, shoes, anything other than the pants, shirt, shoes, and food is considered contraband inside the jail. All right, now, the next thing we're going to go over is, like I mentioned before, having more than 2 inmates. You can walk 2 inmates by yourself without having a taser out. What you don't want to do is, all right, my inmate demonstrators, I want you guys to stand with your right shoulder on the wall. Put your right shoulder on the wall. All right, so you're looking towards the wrought iron fence. All right, when you're walking bodies, obviously, you don't want to do this for obvious reasons, for safety reasons, right? So what you want to do is you want to sort of blade off. So you're going to walk probably just behind the last guy in line, and so you're able to slightly turn your head and you can see what both of them are doing at the same time. While you're doing this, you want to keep in mind that you want to have an escape route in case these guys start fighting, or somehow they pull a weapon out of somewhere where you weren't looking, and now they have a weapon, so you want to have an escape route. Okay, so you want to get away from them, and you want to put it out on the radio that you have a weapon you have an inmate with a weapon, and that you need help in your location. All right.
Okay.
This will be more basic when we get to the actual prison on the island or wherever it's going to be. So it'll be easier to understand, but you need to know the basic stuff before we even get to the island. So here it is. All right, so now you can have your taser out. You can have your taser out whether you want to, but you're required to have it out. Very highly recommended to have it out if you have more than 2 inmates. If
Okay.
you're by yourself, you want to have your taser out, you're fine. That's not a problem. But if you have 2 officers there and there's 3 inmates, at least one of you need to have your taser out. Okay.
Okay.
The reason for this is because if they're tased, that person that's tased needs to be handcuffed pretty quick. But the other guy that was not fighting or wasn't being disruptive needs to be controlled as well. So I'll go over that now. The mindset that you have to have while you're at the prison, okay, is gain and maintain control of the inmates at all times. Okay, so if Lawson Walker runs off right now and I want to go chasing after him, I don't have control of Sean Hardy, do I?
No.
No, I don't. So all I can do if Lawson Walker starts running off is tell Sean Hardy to get on the ground and tell my partners where Lawson Walker is running off to. Okay, keep an eye on him so my partners can go after him and I can maintain control. Or another partner comes up and takes control of Sean Hardy and secures him, I can go after Lawson Walker, one or the other. But you have to gain and maintain control. That's the mindset when you're at the prison. Now, the function while you're at the prison, your job, if someone asks you, what is your job at the prison? Your job specifically is the safety and security of the inmates, okay?
Okay.
The safety has to do with making sure they're fed, making sure they're clothed, and making sure they get medical attention if they need it. And the security side of it means you don't let them open the front gates and let them, I'll let you guys out for a while. Just make sure you make your way back. You don't want to do that. So the security of the inmates. Make sure they don't go where they're not supposed to go, like upstairs in the control room or out behind the counter at the processing area. They don't belong there. Inmates, for the most part, at the main prison we're going to have, there's a work area there, the cells are there, and the yard leads to the area where the cells are. So they don't have anything to do with the front of the prison unless they're going to solitary confinement. All right, I went over what the taser does. I'll briefly touch on that. When you tase somebody, the X26 taser, the effective range from my research and my training that I've put up in the DOC is you pull the trigger, the 2 darts come out of the blast doors, and they spread apart 1 foot for every 7 feet. So let's see. Tyler, pull your taser out if you have one. You don't have one. Sydney, pull your taser out if you have one.
How do I pull it out?
How do you do that?
Control H, but
Control H.
we have a PO7. Yeah.
Okay, so the PO7 with the silencer on this server is a taser, okay?
Okay.
Sydney, when you get on the server, the taser is going to be black and yellow. It's going to look like some kind of Star Trek weapon, okay?
Okay.
So just so you know, all right? All right, so the taser, pull the trigger, the darts come out. You're not going to see these in game. This is a real life thing I'm referring to, but I'm telling you the effects of the taser so you guys know. The effective range of a taser maximum is 21 feet. Real life, I don't know what it is in the game, but we're going to role play this, and we're not going to. Let's say Lolzum Walker runs over to the wrought iron fence over there, straight ahead from me. I can't tase him realistically from this far away. That's not going to work. So I'm going to have to run up on him and then do it. Who is that?
Somebody's getting a Skype call.
Code
Oh,
entered.
What do you want, Kai?
All right.
Code left channel.
All right, so you have your taser, and when you pull the trigger, the darts come out of the taser, the blast doors, they spread 1 foot for every 7 feet away. So you're not going to want to try to, role play wise, you're not going to try to tase somebody from 50 feet away. All right, 21 feet is a maximum range from my,
Good luck.
it might be exactly, because the darts are going to miss. I don't know, they don't miss in the game, but anyway, this is about how far away. See where Lolzum is right here? This is about
Yeah.
how far away I would want to be to tase him. make sure that you hit him and not your partners. Somebody fix their mic, please. Please fix your mic. Alright, so when the tasers hit the body, it causes EMD, and EMD is short for electromuscular disruption, which makes the body convulse very rapidly, and all the area of the body between where the darts make contact is going to lock up, and it feels like
Basically
if
try to
you-
flex every muscle in your
yeah.
body all at one time.
yeah, like
Ooh.
well, yeah, a slight effect of it is you ever as a kid take a 9-volt battery and put it to your tongue and it kind of shocks you, but it's a million times, worse than that. Okay.
I think every kid's tried that.
Exactly. So it's something you don't look forward to. Okay.
It sucks.
Right. So let's say for the purposes of training, okay, let's lulls him. All right.
Yes, sir.
Lulls him. Stand and face the officers over here, and take 2 steps away from the wall. And Sydney, go ahead and take your holster out. Or take your taser out.
And that's Shift H, right?
Control H.
Control H.
Okay.
All right. Now I want you to aim it at Lulzim, and you're going to tell him to get on the ground. Say it like you mean it. And Lulzim is going to fail to comply with your order.
Wait, so is that a gun or is it a taser? Because it looks like a gun.
Taser.
It's a
actually,
gun,
taser.
but the effects are that of a taser. So go ahead.
Okay, so just tell him to get
Lulzim
on the
to get on
ground.
the ground. Yeah, tell him. Say it like you mean it.
You need to get on the ground, sir.
You don't
No.
sound like you mean it, man.
Sound
Oh
convincing.
my gosh.
Get on the ground. Tell him that. Say it.
Get on the ground.
There you go.
All
He's
right.
not doing it. You tell him again, get on the ground or you're going to be tased. And again, he fails to comply. Right? All right, so now
Right.
you want to tase him. Tase him.
She doesn't know. She
Shoot 'em.
doesn't know how to aim. You probably just want to stand
What do I
still,
hit
to be
to
honest.
tase him?
Aim
Put your
the
cursor-
left mouse
put your
button.
cursor on
Aim
him.
the cursor on him, left mouse.
Come on, dude.
All right, stop moving. Stop moving. Close him.
There we go.
All right, now he's tased. Now what you want to do right after you want to have a
That looks
partner
about
move
right.
up and handcuff him. All right, so
Okay.
so Tyler's going to move up and Tyler's going to handcuff him. Tyler, tell us how you use the buttons to handcuff.
It is Shift R to handcuff an individual.
Shift R to handcuff. Now,
Okay.
after we get them tased, and we get them handcuffed, okay, you can keep your taser out just in case
Alright.
he somehow starts running off again.
I was
don't
gonna ask if you wanted me to put it up or not.
No. Keep it out because we
Okay.
don't know if what if he's somebody comes over and does something to him while he's handcuffed. You want to be able to quickly take care of them, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Sean Hardy, get on the ground. Get on the ground. So you're remember gain and maintain control, right? So if you have to tase one guy, you're going to have to control the other guy at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So you in the tan shirt, you tell him an order and you tell the other guy to get on the ground. So you gain and maintain control of both of these guys. Now you have that, right? Now,
Yeah.
when you're standing there with your taser out, you want to make sure that if Tyler is about to come over here, let's say he's going to uncuff him or cuff him, make sure you're not standing. If Tyler does this and moves in front of your barrel, you need to adjust, Sydney. You need to adjust and move over so that if you have to tase him again, you're not going to hit your partner, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we have him cuffed. Now our concern is searching him, making sure he doesn't have any weapons to take inside with him, okay? Because you're wondering why. What is the reason for him not complying with you? Does he have a weapon? Is he going to be combative with you? So Tyler, has he been searched?
Yeah, no illegal items found.
All right, so he's been searched and the darts are hanging out of his body. So for role play and getting the EMTs involved, we are going to call the EMTs to have them take the darts out. Some of the inmates might say, hey, I removed the darts. I'm not, they wake up and you don't quite get your handcuffs on them before. And they say, all right, I've removed the darts. Now you know that the darts are out, so they removed them themselves. Still, when you tase somebody, they fall to the ground. They might hit their head. They might hit their elbow on the ground. They might fall off the curb, whatever. Call the EMTs and have them come over and take a look at the guy. And this is for liability and role play at the same time.
Okay.
So, Jason, tell us why we call the EMTs over. Blood. liability reasons. What happens if we don't and the guy's injured?
Then the department gets sued, you get sued, it's bad news all around.
Yeah. So what'll happen is, right, you get sued. You get sued. You go to court, and they want to know how much training you had. You've been a deputy, and what is your understanding of the SOP, and so on and so forth. And if you go to court and you didn't follow the SOP, they're going to bring a training officer in to say, what do you teach them when you go to training? When cadets show up to training, what do you teach them? Well, we teach them to, you got to give them an order. They don't comply. You tase them, you cuff them, you search them, and then you call the EMTs. And that's where they point out where you went wrong, okay?
Believe it or not, if the person dies later because of a heart condition or previous stroke or something after being tased, and you didn't have EMS respond, the officer can actually be charged with negligent homicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to make sure we want to do that then. Okay, guys?
I have a question.
Yes.
I just realized what time it is. It's like literally 1 o'clock. I have to wake up at 7 in the morning to take my girlfriend to school. So, probably wouldn't be a smart idea for me to stay on here. But
If you need to go, Tyler, you go ahead and go.
I mean, I know all this stuff by heart.
No,
But,
you don't. You don't know my training. I'm sorry. You don't. So no one here does. No one here that hasn't taken it knows it. So get the SOP and read through it, and I will catch up with you, and I will go over this stuff to make sure you're the way we do it here. Okay?
Alrighty.
Okay. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Tyler Overwatch disconnected.
Okay. So come on over here, Sydney.
Do you want me to put my
weapon
taser
away.
up, or does
Yeah,
it need
put
to
your
stay
taser
on?
up. Put your
Okay.
taser up. And I want you to come over here and uncuff Wilson.
Shift H again.
And the reason why I'm slowing this down is to make sure you guys fully understand. Some of you guys are ahead of it, but I want to make sure all of you guys are on equal ground here, okay?
What am I supposed
So-
to be doing?
Keen, tell her. Cuffing, please.
Well, I have it bound on my one key, but you do it with the interrat key with another person. I don't remember what the default key is on here. But it's the interrat key.
I think mine's default. Let me check.
But once you unrestrain him, before you unrestrain him, you would let him know that you're going to unrestrain him and to stay where he is. And as soon as he's unrestrained, to either you want him to step with his right shoulder on the wall or sit down in some manner that's following probably all the other inmates. So you'd
Okay.
probably tell him to put his right shoulder on the wall, just like Sean Hardy,
Okay.
and to stay where he is and to make no movements.
Yeah.
So do you actually want me to do that, or is that just an example?
Yes. Actually do that. Because if you don't tell him right now, Lawson's just going to run away if he wants.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, and he will run away. If you don't tell people that, they will do it all because every single criminal will hear and do exactly what you failed to say. So if you fail to tell him not to do that, then they will do it. And your
Alright,
job will
so-
become a million times harder.
So do I have to tell him that I'm uncuffing him too?
Well, yeah, you tell him prior, you're like, I'm about to uncuff you, so keep your right shoulder on the wall, stay where you're standing, make no movements.
Alright.
Let's have Jason take your taser out anyway,
Yes.
just in case. And let's see, Sydney, take one step over to the right a little bit so you're out of the way if he has to tase him again. However, whatever you use to, if let's say you shift R to cuff him, try Control R to release him.
To release him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, to take the restraints off.
I was looking
Okay.
through the commands menu, but I
Okay.
don't remember which command it is.
Yeah.
Alright, Lulzim, I'm gonna uncuff you. I'm gonna need you to stand with your right shoulder on the wall.
Just not make any movements away. He'll run
Alright,
along the wall.
Or it didn't work.
Try Shift R.
I think he's right. I think it is in the interact menu, but I can't remember for the life of me how you bring that up.
You press the
Try
one key,
Y.
does it work?
Try Y.
That might be why.
Y or the Windows button.
Right? It's not why.
Try the Windows button on
It's
the
Windows
keyboard.
button.
Is it?
Because I can't use Windows button when I'm restrained.
Do you want me to go up there and notionally unrestrain him for...
It is
Oh.
Windows button.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright. Okay, so now, Sydney, what we're going to do now is we're going to give them an order to, we're going to go upstairs and we're going to do some other stuff now. Now,
Okay.
we're going to go over use of force, okay? So we need 3 officers for this. So, Jason, you're going to come over here and you're going to simulate being the sergeant, okay, where I'm at,
Okay.
the purple, and you're going to be given the orders. And Sydney,
Yeah.
look, I'm over here in the purple shirt, right here.
Sorry.
Come over here, stand on this side, okay? And I need one more Keen, come over and stand over here. Alright, so basically what we're doing is we're going to simulate, these guys are, they got off the bus. Let's simulate that they got off the bus and we've taken the cuffs off to move them. We've given them their clothes and they're changing out their clothes and all of a sudden they start fighting, okay? A
Okay.
sergeant's job at the prison is to direct force, okay? And the way the sergeant does that is he gets 2 guys and he gives them an order. And what you want to do is you want to have, it's like this, alright, Keen and Sydney, when we start moving in, you're both going to have your tasers out. Once these guys don't comply and they're tased, Sydney, you are going to holster, after they're tased, Sydney, you're going to holster, and Keen, you're going to cover
Okay.
Sydney while she handcuffs, okay? Got it?
Roger.
Alright, and then I'm going to say, alright, start giving them orders, and when they don't comply, tase them. So go ahead, Sydney, take your taser out. Alright, so Jason, go ahead and do that. Give them an order to move forward, give them orders, and when they don't comply, tase them.
Okay, where do you want me to take them to?
Are they
We're
going to be
walk
fighting right
around
now?
these guys. We're going to give them an orders. So you're going to say, alright, give them an order to get on the ground, and when they don't, tase them.
Both of them?
No, Jason, you're over here. You're over here.
Oh, okay,
So
you want me to stay
so,
over there?
Yeah, see, this is what you're doing, Jason. You're back here, so you're covering the big picture here. Like,
Oh,
back
I
up enough.
gotcha.
Back up enough so when you're filming, you can see both of your officers and your suspects at the same time.
I see what you're having me do.
Yes, your body cam is catching everything, so you're directing force. So it's explained what you're doing as a sergeant when you're in court. Okay, so
Inmates, put your right shoulder to the wall. Do it now.
and they fail to comply. Now you guys move in, converge on each other, and you guys are fighting. Sean and Lilzum are fighting each other. They're fist fighting.
Inmates,
They're not
separate and stop fighting. Down on the ground. Lay down with your arms out to your sides. If you fail to do this, you will be tased.
So do we tase them?
Yeah, at this point.
Jimmy LaHaye entered.
right. So they're down. Are they down? Okay, now Sydney.
They're down.
Right. So now Sydney was one of you guys would holster your weapon. Keen, you're gonna cover. She's gonna handcuff. Don't move. Don't move. Don't. Lilzum, get back over there.
No, it's not letting me.
It's his
stop.
game. It's his game doing it. It's his game doing it, Keen.
Yeah,
Oops.
I wasn't moving on purpose. Sorry about that.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. I realize that after you.
Okay.
All right. Handcuff. All right. We got him done. All right. Now let's get the other guy. Get the other guy quick. And the third officer. Of course, the sergeant could move over here and adjust and cover everything the best he could. There you go.
Is he cuffed?
Negative.
No, he's not cuffed. You wanna?
Do I have to stand up?
Yeah, stand up. Stand up. Face away from the officer. Close him. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so
Okay.
basically you guys see how things got twisted up. Let's say the guy did run away again and we had to do this, right? Someone still has to keep an eye on Mr. Hardy over there, right?
Yeah.
So the sergeant adjusted his position so he can watch Hardy over there, making sure he didn't do anything and still cover everything else going on. So now we want to make sure these guys were just fighting. We don't want them anywhere near each other. So if you can escort him, bring up your is a menu?
Windows,
Windows.
key.
It's Windows key, and you're gonna go to escort, Sydney. So that'll make you take control of him, I think.
Miller entered.
Hey Kai, private channel.
That's
You mean
that's her sister, Miller.
That's
Oh.
Sydney.
Miller
Alright, so I
left
have
channel.
him as an escort.
Yeah, so you're gonna walk him up to the wall. Walk him up to the wall and release him.
Is that Windows key too?
Yep. You do
Yeah,
Windows key again.
Right. Right. All right. So
Okay.
Sydney, after we give them an order and they don't follow the order, we tase them and we cuff them, and then we do what after that? After we cuff them, we do what?
After we cuff them, we escort them back to the wall.
We-
No,
no,
wouldn't we take
search
them
You want to search them?
and and search them?
Yeah. So the basic stuff is you give them an order, they don't comply, you have to tase them, you cuff them, you search them, and then you call EMTs for these guys. Okay.
Okay.
Because they fall to the ground, you call the EMTs. And
Yeah,
you're right.
because they could have hit something.
Exactly. Sometimes they won't. They're drunk and they don't remember that they have a heart problem, and then later on, if you didn't call the EMTs, it comes back on you. So
Okay.
you want to call EMTs. So we have the EMTs come over and they take a look at them and they do what their thing, and then they tell you that okay, these guys are okay. They're cleared to go back. And the EMTs telling you this, and the fact that you're recording covers you because you don't have liability because the EMT showed up and told you that these guys are clear to go. They're okay to go to housing. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we went over the fighting, went over the taser. I'm going to go over things like a skeleton crew. There's two types of skeleton crew. There's a 6-man skeleton crew. A skeleton crew is something I refer to as a minimum staffing at the prison. Okay?
Okay.
Am I
If
good
you
to
have
release
more
these
than
two right now,
15
Warden?
What was that?
Am I good to release them now so they aren't just standing here?
Yeah, you can uncuff them. That's fine. We have a 6-man skeleton crew, which is there's 3 positions at the front of the prison and there's 3 to the back of the building. Okay, the 3 in the front for a 6-man is the front gate, the front desk, which is just inside the front door, and the guy doing the processing, which is everything what we've done here. The guys that's taking their clothes and giving them clothes and giving them food and searching out their clothes and making sure they don't have anything that they shouldn't have. Okay.
Okay.
The guy at the front desk is answering phones and setting up people that want to come visit. He's coordinating with the sheriff's department that's calling us and asking us various things about what's going on at the prison, stuff like that. And then we have the front gate, the front desk, and the guy doing processing. In the back of the prison, we have a guy working the control booth. Okay, in the control booth, you are opening and closing cells and other doors that you have access to as people need to walk through, and they will identify those doors on the server when we get in there and we see everything set up. So you have the control booth, you have the guy working the floor, which he's out there with the inmates and he's directing them what to do for work, or the trustees doing work, cleaning up
Okay.
or whatever. So you have a control booth, the guy working the floor with the inmates, and the third guy is a prowler. The prowler is someone that can go and take the spot of anybody else in the prison. So if the guy at the front gate has to go off duty, the guy that's a prowler goes and jumps up in the gate, and then everybody does their job. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'll go down to if we have less than 15 inmates, we go down to a 4-man crew. Okay.
Okay.
We have the guy at the front gate because he's a perimeter security. The guy doing the front desk now also does processing. Okay, so you have 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So it's the front gate and the front desk, and he's also doing processing. The guy in the back of the prison is doing this guy doing the control booth, and there's no prowler now. So the guy that was the prowler would be the guy doing the floor. Okay, so you have a 4-man crew. It's in the test. You guys will notice that when you see it. All right. Any questions about the skeleton crew? I'll go over it again if you want.
I think I got it.
All right. Let's see here. All right, give me a second.
Okay.
Also, Sydney, if you pull out your taser one more time. Okay. Double click control right underneath shift by the enter button. Always carry your weapon like that so that it's quicker to pull up your weapon.
Okay.
Now you can holster if you want. Or you can keep it like that.
All right.
I'm not gonna shoot you, Miller. I'm just looking at something with controls. That's weird. So you can't open the player interaction menu on your own faction.
Alright, so I'm gonna go over something with you, Sydney.
Okay.
See, turn and face Keen Miller over there. Alright, now Keen, come over here and stand right here so everybody can see this. So in Arma 3, okay, the game just, okay. In Arma 3, you can access your weapon. I don't know what, my game is going crazy now. What the hell is going on, man? Alright, in Arma 3, it's doing it over and over again, guys. I don't know why. In Arma 3, you can access your weapon when you're laying down. So, Keen, I want you to lay down and go prone. Alright, you don't want to have people that you don't know if they have a weapon. You don't want to have them lay down on the ground, okay? And this is
Okay.
why, alright? He can pull his weapon out while he's prone, okay? But if he's sitting down and he's facing away from you, now stand up, Keen, stand up, face away from Sydney, and sit back down. So you're already out and you have a taser in your hand, Sydney, and he stands up. See how long it takes him to stand all the way up and take his taser out?
Yeah.
Anyone that does this, okay, you've already told them, if you do anything I don't tell you to do, I'm going to tase you. So if he stands up and he goes to get something out of his waistband, just tase him, okay?
Don't
Alright.
even wait.
Don't wait, because your job
Okay.
is to maintain control of him, okay? You don't always have a partner nearby, and you don't know what he has in the prison. He shouldn't have any weapon. He shouldn't have anything on him legally. No contraband, okay?
All right. So basically, if I have already warned him, then I just don't need to wait. Just go for it.
Just tase him, okay?
Okay.
And once he gets to the ground, the basic stuff like we went over, okay?
Like cuff him, search him.
Cuff him, search him, call the paramedics, and then
Okay.
house him, okay?
Okay.
Alright, now, gone over that. Let me reiterate on something. When you guys have them up against the wall, having them stand against the wall and sit down, somebody might complain and say, I haven't done anything to you. I don't want to face the wall. Don't be rude to him. Don't cuss at him. Tell him simply face the wall so that I know that, you know, I'm just doing my job. Just face the wall, sit down. You won't be sitting down very long as you cooperate. Something to that effect, okay? They don't
Okay.
have to see you in order to hear you, okay? They have third person, but if they're using first person, they wouldn't be able to put eyes on you if they were facing the wall. Obviously, if you go to first person and you're walking up the wall, that's all they need to be looking at. They don't need to see you in order to hear you. And
Yeah.
there's different things you don't want them to see anyway. For realism, you don't want them to see you. If you're walking up behind them, you don't want them to see that. You're simply walking up behind them for a reason, and if they might tense up, they might spring up, and you don't want to be right on top of them when they do that. So you tell them, you don't want them facing you, you don't want them having any chance of being able to pull a weapon out, okay?
All right.
Does anybody have any questions so far?
No,
Negative.
sir.
Alright. Keen, look at the outline for me and tell me if I've missed anything so far. I can't alt-tab because my game... Okay, exactly. Okay, now, this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be called the Transportation Services Team. And what that is every time an inmate leaves, someone that's Transportation Services Team designated for the day is going to be the person that gears up and they go and they get in the ambulance with the inmate and they go with them to the hospital. And the difference is whatever uniform or whatever you don't have as a person inside the DOC, you are going to go get so you can get in the ambulance and you can go as a deputy armed, as you should be, to go with that person to the clinic. Okay, and you stay with them at all times. And you tell them when you're in the ambulance, okay, we're going to go to the clinic, and if I take these handcuffs off of you and you try to run away from me, I'm going to tase you. This is the only warning you're going to get. Simply telling them that's all they get. Okay.
Okay.
You can take the handcuffs off when the doctor tells you in order to treat him. That's fine. You'll take them off. But and you tell him, you can remind him, remember what I warned you about. Don't run away. Okay? You can just mention that. You don't have to, but you've already warned him in the ambulance. Okay?
All right.
I've actually got a
Run
question.
away, you tase him, you cuff him, and you put it out on the radio that you have an inmate that tried to run away from you at the clinic, and you'll get more backup over there, and then someone will double up with you at the prison, at the clinic to bring him back. All right. If you, Sydney, get into the ambulance, then I'm going to have either a patrol deputy follow the ambulance to the clinic and stand by with you, or another DOC officer will get in the vehicle, the patrol car, and go there. So you'll have 2 DOC officers at the clinic in control of that guy. Okay.
Okay.
I've actually got a question on that.
Yes.
Because of the nature of what the prison is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that prison breaks will actually be a thing that's possible in beta. Will like everyone be armed with pistols? Because if I don't know about you, but like if none of let's just say it's all just DOC personnel and they don't have pistols, that's kind of a very big disadvantage on their part.
All right. The way it's going to work is like this. If as soon as the person at the front gate reports a problem.
I think you forgot to eat. I think you forgot to eat, Warden.
Hold on. Yeah.
Because your body just went like.
Something's wrong there.
Yeah, my game is wacky here.
But I mean, are they going to be DOC personnel going to be given guns?
Yeah. Let me get my game to stop doing this, whatever this is, and I'll answer you. I'm gonna turn off the recording because it's making me crazy here. What's going to happen is I haven't decided on that, but what we're going to do is for beginners until we're actually attacked, and if we start having a pattern of people coming to attack us, then we're going to equip up accordingly. Okay. But what I initially have planned, you all can hear me right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What I initially have planned is the guy at the front gate is going to be armed, okay, with whatever he can arm himself with, okay, a pistol and ammo, and he is our front line of security, okay. If he reports a problem, we're going to have a procedure to go on a lockdown, which is we lock the front door, and everybody at the guy at the front desk is going to have a weapon as well. Everybody else in the prison is going to go and arm up in a certain area of the prison, get weapons, they're going to arm up, and they're going to go to a position within the prison to keep anybody coming in. Anybody coming in is a threat. If they're not in uniform and we don't know about them coming in civilian clothes ahead of time and being a friendly, they're going to be dealt with severely, okay? Because we're going to treat them as a hostile and someone trying to do harm to officers or try to escape, get an inmate to escape, okay? That's what we're going to do. If we start, let's say we get 2 attacks in one day, we're going to go armed and we're going to stay that way, okay? We're going to go on a tactical setup within the prison. And we're going to shut down visiting. We're going to shut down deliveries. We're going to do all of our stuff is going to be done through law enforcement vehicles only approaching the front gate. Okay? That part of it right there, Keena, I'm glad you brought that up. I have to write that stuff up and add that to the SOP. Just to make it clear that we're not going to try to be armed to the teeth in the beginning. We're just going to be have a way to do it if we need it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, anything else that I missed, Keen?
No, that was it. That was it, Warden.
All right, guys. I'm not going to keep this video up because it's not up to standard.